Hi guys, back in the shop, back on the Toyota. As you can see behind me, I got everything in primer. I didn't film any of that because it's just kind of a lot like watching paint dry. Like a lot like watching paint dry. But that's where I'm at with it, so I'll give you guys a look around it and we'll get started. So here's where we're at with it. Got a firewall, floor pan, everything underneath. All in primer. That's just that cheap Rust-Oleum primer, same thing I used on the frame. I use that on a lot of stuff. Look at that. Had a little fathead shop dog in there apparently. But yeah, I started masking it off. Just going to hit everything with tried and true Rust-Oleum again. I'll brush on that gray base and then tint this Cannonball bed liner with the same paint. You could easily spray it. I'm just going to brush it. Keeps the overspray down in the shop. I'm not worried about little drips or brush marks since I'm going over with a textured bed liner. But that's the plan, so I'll get started. Okay, so here it is. Got it up on the back cab wall. I'll be doing the underside first. I got what I needed. Mask off. Didn't go too crazy with it yet. I'll mask off different places as I go. I'm gonna start at the bottom, mostly so I can kind of play with the color. In case I mix something up I don't like it, I can add to it, get a color that I like. I will be going a lot thicker than I did on the frame. One, because this kind of acts as a sound dampener. And also, especially inside, feet and everything on the floorboards, I actually do want some protection from this. Not just looks. But that's where I'm at with that. Hey guys, to give you a quick look before I continue. Got underneath, firewall, back cab wall, it's all done. I'm a fan of just putting it on super thick, going back, cleaning up any drips or runs you get. Like I said, once it's covered in that bed liner, any brush strokes or drips will get covered up. You'll never see that stuff. So I like to just put it on there thick, make sure I get good coverage, good protection. But that's about it. So a few things to mask off on the inside, and then I'll jump on that. So here it is all done. Like I said, I like to just slap it on there thick. Go back once it starts tacking up, knock down any drips or runs you got. But any small imperfections, brush strokes, whatever, that bed line will cover it right up. You'll never see that stuff. So that's about all I can do for the night. Let this sit up. For a day or two, it's pretty thick, so it may take 2 days to really set up real good. And then I'll hit it with that bed liner. You don't want to put that bed liner on top of anything that's not fully cured. I've tried it before in the past, got impatient, and it will kind of slide if this paint is not fully cured. It'll start sagging and sliding on you with the weight of that bed liner. So I'll make sure this is good and cured, and then hit it with that bed liner. So look what Santa brought me. So yeah, I did use wrapping paper as masking paper because I'm cheap, because it's got cool trucks on it. And if you don't like cool trucks and being cheap, you're in the wrong place anyways. Plus, what are you going to do, save a 99-cent roll of paper for a year to reuse it? Your cat will destroy it way before then. And your woman is not going to let you use the same wrapping paper 2 years in a row anyways. You know what I'm talking about. But there it is. Ready for some bed liner. So I'll get this thing, I'm going to start on the bottom underneath. So I'll get it tipped up on the back cab wall, and get to mixing some bed liner, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So here we go on this thing. I'll be using this cannonball just like before. Pretty self-explanatory. If you get this in a black kit, it is a 3-to-1. 3-part bed liner, 1-part hardener. This is a tintable kit, so it is basically the same. You can tint it any color you want, but the mix ratio is a little different. It's basically still 3-to-1. You just add 3 ounces of whatever you're tinting it with, and you mix it a little different also. I'll be just using the gray Rust-Oleum that I used on the cab to tint it. And what they tell you to do is add the 3 ounces of paint or tint, then 5 ounces of the hardener, shake it for 2 minutes, add another 5 ounces of hardener, shake it for another 2 minutes, and it's good to go. So I'll get that mixed up and start spraying. Alright guys, here's what you end up with. You start out, this is kind of a white pasty color. That's the one I just mixed up. and you can tell it's pretty close to the paint color. I can darken it up a little bit if I want, but it's good enough for the girls I go with. So all you do, screw the gun on that is supplied with the kit. They recommend spraying it at 30 to 35 psi, and just stay 8 to 12 inches away from the surface. Put it on about as thick as you want. I'll go a little bit thicker than I did on the frame. Just like I said, it'll be somewhat of a sound dampener, and I do want some protection from this, especially on the floor pan where your feet will be and all that good stuff. But that's about it. So I'll get to spraying. Okay, well, a little bit of a mishap. Just getting started and my compressor exploded. That big water trap right there, for some reason, exploded with 200 pounds in this tank. Luckily, either me or Fathead were close to it, but it pretty much shook this garage. So that's where we're at. I busted out this little air compressor I have. Not sure if it's up to the task or not, but it's all I got right now, so we'll keep going. Okay, so just give you guys a look at this before I get flipped over and start on back cab wall and the firewall. Not going crazy thick, but like I said, thicker than I did on the frame. That little compressor, it's doing the job. It's running non-stop. Every once in a while I have to stop, let it build up a little bit, but yeah, now we know if that's all you got at home, it will do the job. And gotta be honest, this is the third time I've been attempting to get this thing in paint and bed liner. It's always the simple things that are such a headache. The first time I tried to get fancy, bought some copper, it's like a candy copper paint, mixed it up. I sprayed the whole underside. I'll throw up a picture of how ugly it was. It was just hideous. It makes me mad just thinking about how ugly it was. But so that was a fail. So I spent the next couple days stripping that, sanding the whole bottom of this back down, repriming it. The second time I got impatient. The primer had only been on for about 12 hours. I went to paint it and it started peeling the primer. So sanded it down yet again, reprimed it. This is the third time, and the compressor exploded. There's shrapnel all halfway around the shop here, but could be worse. Me and Fathead survived. Neither of us got any shrapnel. So we'll continue. I'll get this tipped back onto the bottom of it and start on that firewall. That guy. Just had to leave his mark. You'll always be part of that truck now, fathead. Proud of yourself? Dick. So here it is. After 3 attempts, one pukey peanut butter color, one impatient white trash guy, compressor exploding, a stinky old shop dog walking all over fresh paint, we finally got it. So if you guys think that I know what I'm doing half the time, that kind of shuts that down. But next time you're in the shop and think you're not doing all that well, probably doing a lot better than you think. But that's it for now. So here we go, the last day on the Toyota for a little while. I'm hoping to get the cab set on the chassis, get anything I can hung back on it, get the bench seat in it, doors hung on it, anything on the front end that I can get that is ready. And then that'll be it on this project for a little while. Got a few other things I want to work on, but either way, I want to get this thing on the road by spring, so I have a few months. But that's the plan for the day, so let's go. So check it out. Everything fit back together like it's supposed to. It lays super hard like a bag truck is supposed to. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. Or maybe I just lucked out. But either way, I'll take it. I'm loving how it looks. So start hanging some parts on it. Okay, so one final little walk around on this thing before I wrap it up. I'm super pumped on this thing. No major fails yet. Everything's working out kind of how I had planned. Maybe a little nicer than I had planned here and there. But I want this truck, I'm trying to preserve like the rattiness of it. All the blue that I can save, I've been trying to. I want this thing, like when I pull into a show, somebody sees it and says, They think somebody wasted a lot of time building a junk truck. Then when they walk up on it, see the chassis and engine, then they'll know some idiot wasted a lot of time on a junk truck. And like, I want to be that idiot, you know? So I'm trying to preserve the feel of the truck, make everything else super nice. But this will be the last video on this thing for a little while. Kind of getting a little burnout on it. I will be working on it, just nothing major worth showing. Kind of the same treatment on the bed as I just did on the cab, so you guys don't want to watch that all over again. Thinning out harnesses, figuring out a ton of wiring, just cleaning up all these random parts, getting them hung on there. So that wouldn't be fun for you guys to watch. So next time you see it, hopefully I have all this stuff, all the major parts ready to throw on there and make this thing a truck again. But for now, I'm going to push it in its little corner over there and try to get that 63 inside. So the next few videos will be on that thing. So check it out.